The College Now Resource Center is here to help adult learners and traditional students achieve their educational goals. 65% of open jobs in Ohio require higher education, but only 39% of adults have at least an associate's degree.
I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to get there. College Now opened so many doors for me and helped me through the process.
College Now provides free counseling on college planning, career training, financial aid, and student loan consolidation. It's never too late to take control of your future, so stop into the College Now Resource Center today.
This honor report for the city of Cleveland is now open to signature journalists. All having business within this honor report, draw near to the attention of the child heard.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody? Good. Good. We ready to battle? All right. All right, so this is the city of Cleveland, or Erie Land, versus Cameron Woods. Is the prosecution present and ready for trial? Is the defense present and ready for trial? Yes. All right, you may proceed.
May I swear in all the witnesses?
I'm sorry, you sure may. I always forget that. That is so important. Okay, go right ahead.
Will all parties who want to give testimony within these proceedings please step forward? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that your testimony complies with the rules of the Cleveland mock trial competition?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Thank you so much. All right, now you may proceed.
May I proceed?
Yes, go right ahead.
All right. May it please the court. Your Honors, my name is Ariana Gilbert, and my co-counsels are Kenneth Shaw and Javante Russell Floyd. Today, Ollie Jacobs will be played by Kamar Tawil and Mickey Edwards by Noni Akintunde, as well as Detective Bird by Angel Shealy. In court today, we hope that all the evidence presented will show that Cameron Woods is in fact guilty of all the charges brought against him. Okay, Ohio Revised Code 2903.04 is involuntary manslaughter. Ohio Revised Code 2925.03 is aggravated drug trafficking, and Ohio Revised Code 371941 is controlled substance schedules. This case is about justice for the victim, Victor Rye, a 17-year-old with a promising future. Mr. Rye died because of an opioid called oxycodone, given to him by the defendant, Mr. Woods. Mr. Woods has proven through his statement that he is inconsistent and has even admitted to passing out his oxycodone prescription. Okay. 1. Victor Rye passed away because of oxycodone mixed with his prescription medication clonazepam. 2. Ollie Jacobs, Mr. Woods' best friend, saw him exchange his prescription oxycodone for money. 3. Ollie Jacobs witnessed Victor Rye giving Mr. Woods money and even did the same actions that occurred on the night he saw him exchange the pills for money. Mr. Woods has even lied to the police about what occurred on October 4th instead of coming forward with what he has done. That's it.
Thank you. Opening statement for the defense.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I'm Eric Lloyds. I'll be representing the defense today. My witnesses today are Jesse Spencer, Sam Jones, and my client Cameron Woods. I don't know why I'm here today. It's kind of absurd this is even a case, because the fact is, opposing counsel has an argument built up on circumstantial evidence, on evidence that is completely based off of hearsay. They have one eyewitness who didn't even witness a crime, and they say that themselves. They say they see something that looks like a drug deal, but they can't say for sure, because they said they saw something that looked like a pill bottle. They didn't see any pills being shaken out of that pill bottle. They have one expert witness who says for sure that the death of Victor Rye was an accident. Now, so why is my client sitting in that seat if the death was an accident? And don't get me started on their witness, Detective Bird. The witness, Detective Bird, on the day of Victor Rye's death, did the right thing and did question Sam Jones, Ali Jacobs, and my client Cameron Woods, but did something very odd. He saw the reaction of Sam Jones and Ali Jacobs as very normal. The reaction being uncertain, answers that stuttering like what I'm doing right now. But then when he comes to Cameron Woods acting the same exact way, clutching his book bag because of the fact that that's what he does when he's scared. That automatically makes him suspicious, even though Detective Bird himself says that Ali Jacobs was eager to say that Cameron Woods was dealing drugs. That's very odd, and even Detective Bird says that himself. It is absurd that this is a case today. It is okay. That'll be on all, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. First witness.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Your Honor, I would like to call to the stand Dr. Mickey Edwards. Could you please state your name and occupation for the court, please?
My name is Dr. Mickey Edwards, and I'm an assistant medical examiner for the city of Ireland.
And what is your primary job?
My primary job is to perform autopsies to determine a cause of death.
Would you please tell us about your educational background?
So I received a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Case Western Reserve, and I received my medical degree from Vanderbilt University.
Could you tell us more about your medical experience?
Sure. So I participated in an internship in internal medicine, as well as a residency in anatomical and clinical pathology at the Wexner Medical Center at Ohio State University. I also participated in a fellowship in forensic pathology at the Franklin County Medical Center in Columbus.
And what are your certifications?
I'm board certified in combined anatomic and clinical pathology, as well as forensic pathology.
Your Honor, I would like to tender this witness as an expert in combined anatomic and clinical pathology, as well as forensic pathology.
Any objection? She would be so deep.
Can you explain to the court what happened on October 5th?
On October 5th, Mr. Rye's body was transported from Ireland Central Hospital to the medical examiner's office to perform an autopsy.
And what did you notice when you examined the body?
I noticed that there was some residue near the deceased's nose, which showed that there was some sort of drug being used recreationally.
And what was the substance that was used?
So after first there was a straw found in the deceased's pocket that had the same or similar residue. They were both sent to the lab and they both tested positive for oxycodone.
Can you explain the effects of oxycodone?
Oxycodone is a Schedule II narcotic, and it connects with a receptor in the brain and causes feelings of euphoria and relaxedness, but also has adverse effects such as respiratory depression and meiosis, which is an excessive constriction of the pupils.
And what did you notice upon closer examination?
Upon closer examination, I noticed that Mr. Rye had a collapsed lung, meiosis, aspirated mucus, and heart failure.
Could you tell us the primary cause of death in narcotics overdose?
In a narcotics overdose, the primary cause of death is respiratory depression to the point of cessation, where the person stops breathing.
And when you looked at Mr. Rye's medical history, what did you see?
I noticed that the deceased had epilepsy, which is a condition in which there is excessive and abnormal brain activity, which causes seizures. And I also saw that the deceased was using clonazepam to treat that for a very long time.
In your expert opinion, could you tell us the cause of death for Mr. Rye?
In my expert opinion, the cause of death was a mixture of clonazepam and oxycodone.
Could you explain to the court what happens when you mix clonazepam with opioids such as oxycodone?
When you mix clonazepam and oxycodone, it causes the effect of the opioid to become stronger and acts very similar to heroin.
Can you tell us about clonazepam's and oxycodone's cytochrome inhibitors?
So a cytochrome is a protein in the body that helps cells function, and both oxycodone and clonazepam use the same cytochrome inhibitor. So because of that, clonazepam ends up blocking the cytochrome inhibitor, which causes oxycodone to build up in the blood to a potentially toxic or lethal level.
What was Mr. Rye's blood concentration of oxycodone?
The blood concentration of the deceased was 0.65 micrograms per milliliter, which translates to about 60 milligrams of oxycodone.
What plasma concentration is considered toxic or lethal?
A toxic plasma concentration is anywhere between 0.3 and 4.3 micrograms per milliliter, whereas a lethal concentration is anywhere between 4 and around 13 to 14 micrograms per milliliter.
What about when you mix it with a depressant?
When you mix clonazepam or oxycodone with a depressant, the toxic or lethal level drops to 0.4 to 0.7 micrograms per milliliter.
And what was Mr. Rye's plasma concentration?
Mr. Rye's plasma concentration was 0.4 micrograms per milliliter, which is 3 times the normal concentration.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination?
Ma'am, did Victor die of only oxycodone?
No, he died because of a seizure caused by oxycodone and clonazepam.
Could he have died from oxycodone alone?
Yes, he could have if there was an overdose.
But with the amount he took, could the oxycodone alone have caused his death?
No.
So oxy itself alone was not the entire cause of death?
Well, as I explained before, as clonazepam affects the same cytochrome inhibitor, it can build up in the blood. So, no, it was not the only cause, but it was one of the main causes.
You yourself ruled the death as an accident, correct?
Yes.
And an accident isn't really someone else's fault, is it?
An accident is just something that happens by chance.
Was there any evidence that Cameron somehow forced Victor Rye to take the oxycodone?
Not to my knowledge, no.
So Victor took them on his own accord, correct?
Yes.
So Victor Rye alone decided to take the mixture of drugs that ultimately killed him?
Yes, but he did not obtain the drugs. Like, he did not get them on his own merit.
But he himself decided to take them, correct?
Yes.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dr. Edwards, when Victor was given the drug, would he have any knowledge of what would happen if he took both of those mixtures when he mixed those two drugs?
No.
No further questions.
Any recross? Thank you, Doctor. You may step down. Next witness?
I would like to call our witness to the stand. May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Can you please state your name for the court?
My name is Allie Jacobs.
And how old are you?
I am 17 years old.
And what school do you attend?
I attend Earland High School.
What activities do you participate in school?
I mostly participate in track.
Okay. What kind of person are you?
I would say I'm a fairly quiet kind of person.
Okay. Now, how would you describe your relationship with Mr. Woods?
I would say we were pretty good friends since I've known him since middle school.
Okay. And what happened after the team won the state championship?
After we won the state championship, Cameron Woods' competitive streak was like a mile long.
Okay. And what happened to Mr. Woods over the summer?
Mr. Woods went to his aunt's house and broke his ankle over the summer.
And what did you do over the summer?
Well, I was a camp counselor, so when I was off, I would try to go to Cameron Woods' house as much as possible. And we would talk, and he seemed very miserable because he hurt his ankle and he was afraid that recruiters won't take him no more. And because of this, I tried to help him out and like talk to him, and he would joke around. We would joke around some, and he would talk about passing out his pills. And I thought it was a joke at first, but now I'm not so sure.
Okay. When school started back up, what did you notice about Mr. Woods?
I noticed that Cameron Woods was more competitive, and he was more aggressive and defensive, and he would come to school with more top-notch gear.
Okay. And what happened on your first day back at track practice?
When we first went, we were all excited to see how Cameron Woods would do because of his injury. And so we did a 300-meter dash race, and I was against him, and I beat him, which he did not take pleasantly.
Okay. And after this incident, how did you and Cameron act toward each other?
Well, at first I tried to ease the tension and joke around with him after the race, and I shoved him lightly as a playful way. He took it too seriously and pushed me back, and we started fighting. So afterwards, he iced me out and hanged out with a new group of friends, which kind of hurt.
Okay. And what occurred on the night you saw Cameron and his new friends?
Well, I was walking home from school, and I saw him and his new friends a block away. And I saw him approach a man, which he was around 20 years old. And the man was giving him a $20 bill, and I saw him and Cameron do this weird handshake after he took out a pill bottle from his book bag.
Okay. And what happened on the day in question, October 4th?
October 4th started like any other day. We did our warm-ups, and Victor Rye was walking weirdly, which I then remembered that I saw Victor and Cameron Woods talking before lunch, which was very unusual since they usually hang out with different groups of friends. And they did the same weird handshake that I saw him do with the other man. So Victor Rye said he felt lightheaded during the meet, and so one of the teammates went and talked to Coach. Before Coach came, he was on the floor having a seizure and foaming at the mouth.
Okay. And what did you tell Detective Bird when he questioned you at practice?
I told Detective Bird everything from when I saw on the day Victor was, no, I saw when I was walking home and what I saw with Victor and Cameron during lunch.
Okay. And what was your impression of Victor passing away?
I was so shocked and scared, but I felt relieved that I told him detective everything because I did not want that on my conscience.
Okay. No more further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
Allie, were you hesitant to tell Detective Bird about your suspicions of Cameron?
No.
You weren't?
Not at first, no.
Well, in your statement, you said you were hesitant.
I was hesitant in the beginning, but then I told him everything because I did not want that on my conscience, that Victor Wright could have died because of something serious that happened.
Were you aware that Victor was abusing other drugs?
No.
So you had no way of knowing that there were other drugs that could have reacted with the drug taken.
No.
So how could Cameron know?
Because how should I know?
You said you didn't see Cam give Victor any pills, correct?
No, but I saw him do the weird handshake thing that he did with the other man when I saw him walking home, and I saw him take out a pill bottle on that day too.
Is it possible that the bottle you saw was not the same orange bottle you saw previously?
No, but it looked like a pill bottle.
Did you go to a teacher or a parent about what you saw?
No, I didn't know what to do.
So you waited until someone was dead?
No, I told someone that I knew can do something.
You just said that you didn't tell a parent or a teacher?
Okay, but I told Detective Bird.
But that was after someone had died?
Objection, asked and answered.
Good objection, but I'm going to overrule.
Victor was already in a state where he was dead, or about to be dead, so you didn't tell anyone about what you had saw until that situation had occurred.
I didn't know Victor was dead at that time. He was just having a seizure. How was I supposed to know that he was dying?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Can you redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you please restate what occurred when you saw Cameron after school?
Well, I saw Cameron walk with his friends home, and I saw him take out a pill bottle from his book bag, and a man give him $20, and they did this weird handshake thing.
Okay. And what occurred when you saw Victor and Cameron?
I saw Victor talking to Cameron, which was, like I said before, very unusual since they never hanged out, and they did the same weird handshake thing that he did with the other man.
Okay. No more further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
You told the detective that you saw Cam give Victor a packet of pills, right?
Excuse me?
You told the detective that you saw Cam give Victor a packet of pills.
That's beyond the scope of redirect.
What she just described, that was not about the same thing? Was that the same incident? Okay. Well, then she's correct. Is she correct? This is the author. So let me be correct. Okay. Okay, sustained. Any other questions?
You said that you saw a $20 bill, right? A crumpled up $20 bill?
Yes.
And you were very far away, not to mention behind a car. So how could you know it was a $20 bill, especially if it was crumpled up?
Because it looked like a $20 bill from where I was.
So you couldn't see the pills, but you saw the crumpled up $20 bill from
I saw
very
a pill
far away.
bottle.
A pill bottle. But how that's pretty strange how you were so specific. How did you know it was a $20 bill? It was crumpled up
Because
and you were so far
that's
away.
what I saw.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next witness.
Your Honor, I'd like to call forward Detective Bird to stand.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Detective, can you please state your name for the court?
My name is Detective Taylor Bird, and I work at the Ireland Police Department.
Raise your voice a little bit.
Sorry. Let me repeat it. My name is Detective Taylor Bird, and I work at the Ireland Police Department.
Now, Miss Bird, how long have you been a detective?
I have worked for the Ireland Police Department for 20 years. I was on patrol for 7, and I've been a detective for the past 13 years.
Now, what sort of training and education have you received while serving as a detective?
Well, I have a degree in criminal justice, extensive training in criminal investigation, crime scene processing, and drug law enforcement.
Now, how experienced are you?
Well, I've been with the police department for 20 years, been a detective for the past 13, and I have handled over 250 cases.
Your Honor, may I tenure this witness as expert in narcotics investigation and criminal investigation?
Any objection? Be so noted.
Right. Your detective, how bad is the opioid epidemic in Ohio?
Well, Ohio is one of the hardest hitting states in the country. When I was younger, I can remember, like, I could go out somewhere and you could see somebody selling weed or ecstasy on the street, but now it's just like opioids are everywhere. And like, you can even order it offline and it'll be labeled as a research chemical, and nobody can ask questions about it.
Now, detective, what led you to Erie High School on October 4th?
Normally, when I drive home from work, I listen to the police scanner. And on October 4th, I heard a call for the EMS to Erie High School. I'm an alumni there, and I regularly teach classes about drug prevention. So when I heard about the call, I was very concerned, so I rushed over.
When you arrived at the school, after Victor Rye had been picked by the paramedics, what was your next course of action?
Well, I began questioning the students right away. Most students didn't have anything to say, but when I questioned Allie Jacobs, she was very eager to tell me everything. She said she believed Cameron to be a drug dealer, and that Cameron might have sold Victor some bad drugs. She told me about this time that she saw Cameron and a stranger on the street, like, doing some type of weird drug transaction. I asked her if she ever, like, saw the drugs, and she said yes, then no, the Navy and rapid succession, so pretty inconsistent. But on the day in question, October 4th, she did tell me that she saw Cameron give Victor a packet of pills.
Now, what was your next course of action after speaking with Allie?
Though Allie was inconsistent with her statements, she was the only lead that I had, so I went to question Cameron. When I talked to Cameron, at first he was very cooperative. He was very eager, which is very much like him. He took my class and very good student. But when I brought up the charges that Allie told me, he became very, like, closed off and distant. He began clutching his bag, so I asked if I could look inside, and that's when I found a pill bottle labeled oxycodone, a fat roll of money, and a piece of paper with letters and numbers on it.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness of Exhibit 4?
You may.
Detective, how large of a bill do you see?
I see a $100 bill.
Now, after you interviewed Cam and checked his bag, what did you do after that?
Well, we did a school-wide search to see if there was any other students with oxycodone on them, and it turned out that it was just Cameron Woods with oxycodone on them, and we even checked the kids that weren't at school that day, and just Cameron.
Detective, I have one more question for you. What are the initials of Victor Rye?
VR.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness of Exhibit 1?
You may.
Detective, please read some of the initials you see on the paper that you found within Cameron Wood's bag.
I think that's an AS, BL, VR, DT, and ER.
So VR was found inside the list of names that Cameron carried, and VR is also the name of the student that tragically died on October 4th. With that, Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Detective, did Allie want to tell you that they suspected Cameron of selling drugs?
Yeah, she was very eager to tell me so.
In your experience, is it normal for a student to do that?
No, not at all, but I just assumed that she was, like, very in shock of what just happened, so why lie to a detective about it?
Did you investigate any other students?
I did question the other students, but they didn't have much to say.
When you questioned the coach, Sam Jones, they were silent, correct? Silent, unresponsive.
Yes, I believe that he was in shock.
But when Cameron Woods had the same response, you said this was suspicious, correct? Even though you yourself said it was normal behavior.
I only said it was suspicious because at first he was very, very cooperative, and then as soon as I brought up what Allie told me, he just shut off.
Don't you think Cameron could have suspected that you thought they were doing something wrong? Don't you think they were maybe a little scared because you had started asking them questions?
Objection, Your Honor. This is speculation.
Sustained.
Did you have any good reason to search Cameron's bag?
I mean, he started to clutch it when I brought up the charges, so I thought, let me just see.
Is it a crime to be a bit nervous when you're being questioned by a detective about one of your friends having a seizure?
No, not at all.
No?
That can be very intimidating.
Did you find the oxycodone, the list, and the money in his bag suspicious?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness with Exhibit 4?
No objections.
Is it suspicious for a 17-year-old boy to have around $100 in his bag?
That looks more than 100. That's $100 on top, but that looks like a lot of cash.
But in your statement, you said it was around $150, correct?
Yes.
Since he was tutoring people and he got paid for that, and he's a 17-year-old boy, is it very suspicious for a person to have around $100 on them?
I wouldn't say it's suspicious to have $100 on them, but to have a $100 bill, that's a bit much.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness with Exhibit 1?
Sure. No objections.
Did you investigate what this list was at all?
No, I just confiscated.
So, do you have any idea what the list actually is?
No, we can only assume.
No? After you found out that Cameron Woods was prescribed the oxycodone, did you still find it suspicious?
A little, yes. I did read the medical examiner's report.
Did you take into consideration that it's not really all that abnormal or suspicious for a boy to have those items on him, especially with these circumstances?
I mean, I don't think so.
Other than the witness statement made by Allie Jacobs, who I would like to remind the court their statement is full of discrepancies, do you have any real hard evidence that Cameron Woods was selling drugs?
Not besides the evidence that I found in his bag.
No more questions, Your Honor. Redirect.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to start us off by approaching the witness with Exhibit 2.
Sure.
Detective, please read the immediate cause of death as labeled on the autopsy report for Victor Rye.
Oxycodone intoxication.
Detective, who was the only student in the school to be found with oxycodone?
Cameron Woods.
No more further questions, Your Honor.
Woods himself, or themselves, says that they did give Victor and a couple of track members some oxycodone. Is that drug trafficking? To simply give someone a pill?
Objection, Your Honor. This is outside the scope of a redirect.
It is, but I'll let her answer. You are absolutely right.
I'm gonna have to say no, but I think it was very irresponsible for him to be passing out his pills.
Drug trafficking means that someone either sold drugs or offered them, correct?
Yeah.
Do you have any proof that Cameron Woods did either of those?
In his statement, he said he passed out drugs.
But he didn't offer them or sell them, correct? You don't have any evidence of that.
Yes, you're right. No, I don't.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Detective. You may step down. Does the city rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. For the defense.
I'd like to call the witness, Cameron Woods. Your Honor, may I begin?
You may.
Would you please state your name for the court?
My name is Cameron Woods.
What is your relationship with your mother?
Me and my mom are pretty close. I try to help her pay bills by paying the phone bills with the money that I make from tutoring. And I just want her to be proud of having a daughter like me.
How have you been doing academically?
Academically, I'm the top of my senior class and I have a 3.8 GPA.
What about athletically?
Athletically, I'm trying to get back to how I used to be, but since I had that ankle injury, I'm not as good as I used to be.
How were you athletically before you broke your ankle?
Before I broke my ankle, I was a track star, and I was getting scholarships from different colleges.
Why did you give Victor the oxycodone?
Well, after practice, some of my teammates would complain about having pain, and they would ask me for some pills, and I would just give it to them.
So you just wanted to help your teammates, or did you want to help your teammates?
Yes, I didn't have intentions of hurting them.
How many kids did you tutor? Do you tutor?
I'm one of the top students in my school, so I tutor a lot of kids.
Can you describe your relationship with Allie Jacobs?
Allie Jacobs was a very good friend of mine until I broke my ankle and she started acting weird towards me. I really believe that Allie is the reason I'm here today because she was always jealous of my academic brilliance and my athletic accomplishments. And it's just strange that someone I would consider to be my best friend would lie to the police just to get me out of the picture so she could take my place.
What is your family's experience with drugs?
About 2 years ago, a cousin that I was very close to had a drug overdose. And since then, I've just been against drug abuse. And it's just outrageous to me that I'm being accused of selling drugs. And I wouldn't want to cause any pain that I had to go through to another family.
What's your view on selling drugs?
I'm very against it.
Why were you hesitant to speak with a detective?
The detective approached me after the incident that happened with Victor, so I was kind of hesitant because I was still shaken up about what happened.
How do you act when you're nervous and scared?
I might get a little quiet and seem nervous.
Did you show Allie Jacobs your bottle of pills?
Yes, when she came and visited me that one time, I showed her the pill bottle and I joked around about how I felt kind of high from it, which is why I stopped taking them.
How did Allie react to that?
Allie, she was just like laughing like I was.
Why did you ask for a refill on your oxy?
Well, although I still had half of a pill bottle left, I wanted to make sure that I had enough because I'm allergic to any pain medicine that is not oxy. So to ensure that I could have enough medicine if the pain came back from the injury, I asked for a refill.
Why did you carry it with you and not give it to the nurse?
I didn't really think it was necessary to give it to the nurse, and also I wanted to make sure I had them with me just in case it came back so I could take it right away.
Did you yourself say that you gave Victor and a couple of your teammates Oxy?
Yes, I did.
Can you rephrase it a little bit?
In your statement, do you say that you did give Victor? Yes.
Objection, that's still a leading question. It's not leading in the sense that you're talking about. I understand what you're saying, but if she's just asking her to restate what was in her statement. So. Leading is more suggesting the answer in the question. But good, keep it up.
I did say that I gave a few of my teammates some pills.
Did you give them enough that it could possibly harm them if they took all of it at once?
No, I did not.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Can you please restate your name for the court?
I am Cameron Woods.
Okay. Is it true that you and Mr. Jacobs were best friends?
I would consider her a very close friend of mine.
Okay. Is it true that you were prescribed oxycodone?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Is it true that you took a drug awareness class?
I believe so.
Okay. So, isn't it true that you have some knowledge of how dangerous drugs can be?
Yes, including my family history.
Okay. And yet, you passed around your oxycodone prescription medication knowing you weren't supposed to carry it around school, correct?
Without the intentions of causing harm.
But you did know that you weren't even supposed to have it, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, you said that you didn't turn in your oxycodone prescription because your pain wasn't that bad, correct?
Yes, and I didn't think it was necessary.
Okay. So, wouldn't that be all the reason to turn in your medication because you didn't experience a lot of pain to need it, correct?
It could be, but I didn't know if the pain would come back, so I wanted to be on the safe side.
Okay. You were given instruction to give it to someone in your school's office by your doctor, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Isn't it true that your ankle was healing quite fast?
Yes, but I didn't know what could come from it though.
Okay. And yet you complained of more pain to your doctor, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, you went back to Dr. Spencer to get a refill of your oxycodone prescription, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yet you still had half a bottle when you went to Dr. Spencer, correct?
Yes, but I didn't know if the pain was going to come back, so I wanted to make sure I had enough pills.
So you did have more pills of your last prescription, and yet you went back to the doctor to get more.
Yes, I just didn't know if that was enough, though.
Okay. Now, did you mention your half a bottle to the doctor?
No, I did not.
You gave Victor a pill on the day in question, correct?
I think so.
Okay. Now, when you were interviewed by Detective Bird, he found your prescription in the roll of money, correct?
Yes, he did.
Your Honors, I would like to present Exhibit 1. Can you please say to the court Victor Rye's initials?
VR.
Okay. Now, isn't that VR right there?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, I would like to present Exhibit 4 to the court. Can you say to the court what this is?
That's the money that I made from tutoring.
Okay. Now, you say you tutor after school to have extra money, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, can you state for the court who gave you a $100 bill to tutor them?
I can recall.
Okay. And this is a roll of $150, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So you earn $150 from tutoring around the school?
Yes, because I tutor a lot of kids because I'm one of the top students.
Okay. Can you recall who you tutored?
No, I cannot. I didn't put it in my witness statement.
No. Can you state for the court? Ooh. Can you state for the court how many days you tutor out of the week?
No, because I can't remember.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you read the rest? No reading. Thank you very much. Next witness.
What do you know about Victor Rye as a student?
He was okay. I didn't know him too well. I only had him for 1 year, but I knew him through track, but not as well as the other two students involved in this.
In your opinion, do you think Cameron has a bright future?
Yes, I believe he does. He had a lot of colleges looking for him due to his high academic performance and his track performance.
In your opinion, does Cameron have the respect of his peers?
Yes, certainly.
Excuse me, Your Honor, I'd like to object on an invalid opinion.
I'm sorry?
Improper opinion.
Opinion?
Yes.
A response?
Pardon?
Is there a response he's objecting to for having an opinion on it? It's overruled. You may proceed. Continue.
As a teacher, would Cameron ever use drugs?
No.
Was there any negative event that changed Cameron?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Was there any negative event that changed Cameron?
Well, before he broke his ankle, he had a cousin that overdosed on drugs. I can't remember exactly which one he told me it was. But she overdosed, and that really impacted him, and it made him not want to do anything like that. And he was very emotionally vulnerable. And then he had the accident where he broke his ankle, which made him very, I guess, aggressive when he returned after the injury.
So in your opinion, could returning from injury and trying to establish yourself as the best on your team again make someone under pressure more aggressive than usual?
Oh, definitely.
Objection, Your Honor, that's a leading question.
I'll sustain that. Not for that reason, though. I think it's more of an expert opinion.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Jones, did you state that you did not know Cameron that well?
I knew Cameron well.
So you did know him well?
Yeah.
Now moving to Victor Rye, are you aware of how he died?
He had a seizure, and I think it was something in his system, oxycodone.
Do you have access to each student's medical records?
Yes, if they're on my track team.
Is it true you spoke to Cameron's doctor?
Yes, after his injury.
Are you aware that Cameron was prescribed oxycodone?
Yes.
And you stated you are aware that Victor Rye died from an oxycodone overdose?
Yes.
Now, would you say you were particularly fond of Cameron?
Yeah, I guess you could say that we were kind of close, as close as a student and a teacher can be.
So, only in a student-teacher sense you were close?
Well, considering I knew him outside of school and I've taught him for many years, I began to know him as a person.
Now, Your Honor, may I approach the witness with their own witness statement?
You bet.
Ms. Jones, I'm going to read your statement for you. Truth be told, I see more than a little of myself in that young athlete. Now, that seems a little more than just a regular relationship, and as you previously stated, you are fond of Cameron himself. That wouldn't be impacting your report in any way. Wouldn't it make you biased?
Well, considering that everything has bias, I think that even though I knew him as a person, I knew that even if I did see a little bit of myself in him, I don't think that would impact considering someone died.
Is it true that you offered to write him his own recommendation letter?
Well, yeah.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I'd like to call Jesse Spencer to stand.
Yes, we can. Absolutely.
What is your occupation?
I am an orthopedic surgeon at Erie Land Clinic, and I have been a doctorate for 25 years.
What is your educational background?
I earned my bachelor's degree in chemistry from Ohio State University, and I also earned my doctor in medicine degree in Case Western University.
Upon your first examination of Cameron's ankle, what did you discover?
I discovered that they had a fracture in their fibula from the physical examination and also from the x-ray to make sure if it was broken or not. And I discovered that they would need a surgery.
Did you give him any medications for his ankle?
Well, previous years ago, they have experienced the same experience of a broken arm at the age of 8, and when their primary care doctor prescribed them different drugs, they found out that she was allergic to them, so the doctor took note that the oxycodone was the only one that worked for the pain to subside. So I didn't want to risk Cameron to have gotten sick for any other drugs, so I prescribed her some oxycodone.
So you did give him oxycodone because it worked best?
Yes.
When Cameron returned from his 6-week healing period, what did you discover during your second examination?
Well, the ankle was almost completely healed, so I prescribed Cameron a small dose of oxycodone for 2 weeks, and then I told them if they've been unused, I gave them a list of ways to dispose of them.
No further questions, Your Honor?
Okay. Recross? I'm sorry, cross.
Yes, sir.
You may.
Could you restate your name for the court?
Dr. Jesse Spencer.
And you've been a doctor for 25 years, correct?
Correct.
You conducted research on pharmaceutical, correct?
Correct.
Is it true you prescribed Cameron oxycodone?
Yes, because it was the only one that worked and he wasn't allergic to.
Before Cameron visited you, is it true that a drug representative came to talk about oxycodone?
Correct.
And didn't she give you boxes of swag to pass out?
I don't know why this question is relevant to this case, but yes, she did.
Could that have persuaded you to give him more oxycodone?
No, of course not. It would be the doctor's note from the previous accident, as I originally said, from his broken arm. So I prescribed him oxycodone because he was not allergic to it.
It takes 6 weeks for a break to heal, correct?
About 6 weeks, sir.
Cameron came in and complained of more pain?
Well, of course. He's still in process of healing from his broken ankle.
And you gave him 2 weeks of
A small
oxycodone?
dose of oxycodone, which is 2 weeks, and I didn't say he doesn't have to use it all.
As an expert, did you read Cameron's witness statement?
No, I did not.
Your Honor, may I consult my co-counsel?
You may.
As an expert, aren't you supposed to read everyone's testimonies?
I guess so, yes.
But you still claim that you didn't read Cameron's testimony. Is that true?
It didn't say it on my witness statement.
But you're an expert.
Yes, but again, in my witness statement, I didn't read it.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Can you be direct? Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does the defense rest?
I rest.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So we're at closing arguments. Do you all need a minute to consult, or are you ready to do closing arguments? Ready to proceed? All right. In the interest of time, you may go right ahead. So we started late.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Our community has been overcome by a pestilence. The youth of today are dying from a poison known as opiates. Poor young students like Victor Rye are dying by the thousands. The harbingers of this miasma, drug dealers like Cameron Woods. The defense would like to say that we have no evidence to convict him of drug trafficking, saying that he only just gave them away. Here's why they're incorrect. It's one thing for someone to just give away drugs. It's another thing for such student to have $100 bills on their person. Now, they may claim that this is from tutoring. I ask you, what simple high school student will pay for anything with a single $100 bill? Furthermore, Cameron's own surgeon prescribed more oxycodone. She prescribed this without x-raying his leg a second time. She just gave him more opiates. Now, why would she just give him more opiates? Could it have something to do with the fact that she was visited by the company that sells these drugs? That they gave her stuff, that they took her out to lunch, that in her own words, she enjoyed the visit. That's enough reason to give them more. Furthermore, Victor Rye's initials are VR. On the note found within Cameron's bag were the initials VR. The medical examiner himself found that one of the reasons Victor Rye died was because he took Oxycontin. The only person found in the school that had Oxycontin was Cameron Woods. That is more than enough evidence to prove that he is selling drugs. Furthermore, that's a felony. And now, because he committed a felony, and that resulted within the death of Victor Rye, that constitutes involuntary manslaughter. Your Honor, we hope you find that Cameron Woods is guilty of involuntary manslaughter and drug trafficking, so that we can hope that our students in our schools are clean from the disease known as opiates, and that less people die, and that there's no more tragedies like that October 4th day where Victor Rye died. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, Your Honor, like my colleague said earlier, I don't really know why we're here. All we're doing is debating the innocence of a 17-year-old boy, and there isn't really any evidence to point to the crime they say he committed. The prosecution would have you believe that Cameron Woods was someone who fell out of grace, someone who turned bad, but I don't believe that for a second. it isn't as if Cameron Woods went over to his... It isn't as if Cameron Woods broke his ankle on purpose. It's not like he went and decided, hey, I'm going to go break an ankle today. So it's not really like it was his fault. So it's not really his fault that he wasn't doing well at track either, because he broke his ankle. Cameron Woods is a good student, a good athlete, a good person, who wants to help his mother, who wants to help his teammates. Yeah, maybe he did give them some oxycodone, but the prosecution doesn't really have any evidence that he either sold or offered this. And without any evidence, can't really say he committed manslaughter. The prosecution also points out that Cameron Woods was the only student who had the oxycodone on him, which is true. And if he was selling the oxycodone, wouldn't it make sense that other students would have it as well, if he were selling it to other students in the school? But no one else had it on him. Cameron Woods had the oxycodone on him because he was prescribed the medicine because no other medicine worked. He has a good reason for having it. He has a legal reason for having it. And the prosecution does not have any evidence that he was trafficking drugs, and therefore they cannot prove that he committed manslaughter either.
Rebuttal?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to tell you that we don't have any evidence. Frankly, they're wrong. We have the medical examiner's report to show you that Victor Rye's death was caused by oxycodone. Now, as the defense counsel said, why wouldn't any other person have oxycodone if Cameron was just reading it? That's because they're taking it just like Victor Rye did. The only difference is they didn't die. Now, Victor Rye, he wasn't forced to take it, as they mentioned earlier. But addiction is a terrible disease. It's not that you want to take it, it's that you need to take it. Because people like Cameron Woods are supplying the community with oxycodone, they're developing this addiction. They don't want to, their body makes them. And like I said earlier, it's a pestilence brought upon this community by drug dealers like Cameron Woods. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Very good. This was so enjoyable. Don't you think? This was so enjoyable. You guys are great. You guys are really good. And I want to say a whole lot more, but we have to go and do the scoring and then come back and we'll give you some more feedback. But it was very good. Very good. All right. Okay, if you all would, our bailiff can recess us. We'll be back shortly.
All right.
Hey everyone, summer is coming, so that means it's time to get out and have some fun. Cleveland Recreation invites you to play by registering for any of our baseball, swimming, and junior golf programs. Baseball programs are available for youths ages 4 through 19. The basic fundamentals of the game are taught, and youths progress through various levels, ultimately participating in the Connie Mack League. If you would rather create a project of your own or express yourself through performing and visual arts, the Division of Recreation offers arts, crafts, ceramic programs, and show wagon performances. So come celebrate summer fun. Don't miss out on the free lunch program, summer camp, soapbox derby racing, and a host of other special events. You may even have the opportunity to celebrate an Indians victory in person at Progressive Field. Don't let summer pass you by. Visit one of our 20 recreation centers, 25 supervised playgrounds, 19 indoor pools, and 22 outdoor pools, and have yourself the best summer ever in the city of Cleveland.
You may be seated. All right. Well, again, we told you it was very, very enjoyable. This was 2 hours well spent. And we just have praises for all of you, because we could tell that you put a lot of preparation into it. You all knew the case. And it's just great to see a problem acted out. And if you all did not know, this is one of the authors of that play, of the case. This is Xavier, and he and another young lady wrote this play. We thought it was topical and interesting, and something that would that you could learn from. And so they did a good job. So we can have a round of applause for the authors. All right, so we have some comments. So I know we have to go because you all have to eat. And but you need to have some kind of comments so you know what to prepare for the afternoon battle. So go right ahead, Xavier.
Everyone did a very good job. Just on it. I loved how everyone were on their feet. Please keep it up. You all knew what to say, especially with the objections. Stay with the case and just. Be focused, and I loved it.
Very good. Mr. Brill, you have anything to say?
All right, you guys, both teams did a great job. Some of you were so believable, I thought I forgot you were students.
Right.
So it was very enjoyable, and great job with knowing all your stuff.
Right. So again, this afternoon, the first round is like, okay, we're going to get this, fill each other out, see what the other teams bring in and all that. So the afternoon, that's when you bring your fire, okay? Because you have a chance to learn from what you did in the morning. Now, I thought one of the first of all, the technical stuff was like, usually technical stuff is boring. You guys, the doctor back there and the lawyer right here, you all had an exchange. It was so believable. It was realistic. It was accurate. That was primo. That was great. Did you all take a long time practicing that? That was great. That was great. And we needed to know, and that's important to know, that mixing medications and all that, oxycodone by itself. So you walked us through it, and it was methodical, and it was just perfect. So kudos to you for that. That was just fantastic. That was really great. So do that again. But some of the kind of stuff, like some kind of missed opportunities, like when that, don't let her get away with saying, oh, I could tell that was a $20 bill from across the room. So, you can even get some, you can be dramatic. You can write something on a piece of paper and say, well, what does this say? Something like that, to test and show how absurd it is for her to say, oh, I know it was a 20. So, capitalize that. If you have a witness who says that this afternoon, capitalize on that. That just brings some drama to the situation, because people want to see the drama. When people tune in, they want to see kids doing a fantastic job with an adult problem and an adult situation. And so they also like to see some drama and people being outraged, and indignant, and how dare you suggest that, and what do you mean, and all that. So, do all that too. And it was something else, I probably should have written it down, that was a good exchange, but make sure that when you answer questions that you're not giving just monosyllabic answers, and that you are actually responding to having a conversation, so you might want to go off script a little bit. And this doctor over here, you were so good. I like how you were very good. I'm like, oh, you gonna put me on trial? Even though, the people think that the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies are responsible for this glut of opioids in the community, and that's true. So they were absolutely right to go after you, and you were absolutely right to be defensive, because that was a very interesting moment. But you were very good. I'm like, well, he didn't, whatever it was that you said, it was very what you would think a doctor would say in response, not saying that there was really a defense to it, but you were defensible. So that was good. So make sure that you play on that. Make sure that you go after the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies, because they are the invisible co-defendants in this case. But don't do so in such a way that you make Cameron not the focus, because he was wrong too. So, and I think you did say at some point that trafficking is just giving. Okay, I don't think that's right. So don't say that, because that's not the law. The law says give or sell. Then you have to be selling it Giving is not trafficking. So don't be wrong on the law. But it was just fantastic. I enjoyed it. Good luck to you guys this afternoon. And we have some announcements for some superlatives. And it was so hard. This is the hardest part, is trying to find the superlatives, because you all were all so good in so many ways. So, okay, for Best Witness.
Best witness goes to Noni Akintunde.
Now, Noni, whose coat is that? Whose lab coat is that?
Our school.
Oh, that's your lab coat? Oh, y'all got lab coats? Oh my gosh. What, you all gonna be doctors? What are you gonna be?
I want to be a neonatologist.
A what?
A neonatologist.
Oh, so preemies, babies. Very good. You're not gonna be a lawyer? You could have fooled me. You could have fooled me. Who's gonna be a lawyer over here? Oh, I can. Oh my gosh! I'm like either lawyer or actor or something. I mean, just so yeah. We don't have. We're gonna give you your credentials downstairs this afternoon. But you were just fantastic. Oh my gosh!
Let me just say,
Go ahead, Xavier.
I wrote the prosecution side, the prosecution witnesses. The medical examiner statement was the hardest statement to write, because I am not a science. I'm a political science person, I'm not a science person. But you did excellent.
Excellent. I had to keep on looking. I'm like, is that a student? That is so good. Okay, and for the attorney?
For best attorney, I have Kenneth Shaw.
Janet, it was really hard because everybody was so good. It was so good. But you brought that drama and that flair. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And we had somebody from last year, I can't remember what his name was, but he had so much drama and flair. And that kind of like pushes the needle. So that is good. So, bring your acting to it also. You have to know your material, but when you bring the acting, and I just love your outrage. I mean, that was just like, this is a pestilence, and this is awful, and we need to do this, and it was him, and all that. That's what you have to do. I mean, that's what you have to do. It keeps people awake. It keeps people like, ooh, just on the edge of the seat, wondering what's going to happen, and this makes it interesting. So, and also the objections, keep objecting. Do not be shy about objecting, okay? Even if it's overruled, because that gets them off their game and makes them think and say, what did I say wrong, and all that. And this is good, and it just shows that you are fully engaged in your problem. So keep on doing it, and you guys were wonderful. And so take some of this advice and apply it this afternoon. And my public service announcement is that they are selling hot dogs on the 4th floor, so you don't have to go to the cafeteria, but they have really good, I think it's hot dogs, right, Mike? Yeah, they got hot dogs. They didn't get the pizza, right? They just got the hot dogs, I think. So go and eat up and then regroup for this afternoon's battle. Oh yeah, we got to give this to...
It's that time again. Time to register your kids for summer camp at George L. Forbes. You must be a City of Cleveland resident between the ages of 9 and 13 and available for 1 free week of summer camp, June through August. To register, bring proof of residency, age, and guardianship, up-to-date immunization records, and a copy of a physical to any City of Cleveland Recreation Center. For more info, call Camp Forbes at 216-263-5325. Again, that's 216-263-5325. And I'll see you at George L. Forbes this summer.
Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Thanks for participating. We enjoyed you guys. Give yourselves a hand. So while we're waiting, instead of just having all this dead space, I want to introduce you to two people
who you should know, because both of them are veterans of this program, either mock trial and or the Stokes Scholars. And so we want to let you know that the Bar Association does a whole lot to make sure that people in our community get exposed to the law and all those great things. You can be lawyers. And here we have an actual lawyer and a lawyer-to-be. Somebody's getting ready to go to Georgetown Law School. So I just want them to come and say hi to you real quick so you can see that this is a great venue for people to start thinking about going to law school or thinking about going to professional school or anything. I don't care what it is, bus driving, whatever it is. But you need to have some goals, and these guys had goals, and they come from Cleveland, and I want them to come and introduce themselves. So who's going to go first? Brandon? Come on, Brandon!
Hey everybody, didn't know I was going to be doing this.
I just told him.
But my name is Brandon Brown. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised. Went to John Hay Early College High School. Participated in the mock trial tournament all of my years in high school. Really enjoyed it. It's what really set me on a path to becoming an attorney. Graduated, went to undergrad at Oberlin. It's about 45 minutes from here. Then, can't hear me?
Oh, you can't hear?
Get up a little bit this way. It's okay. I don't need it. I really don't need it. I can just project.
Go ahead. That's what you got to do.
But yeah, so went to Oberlin for undergrad, and then went to Cleveland Marshall College of Law, which is at Cleveland State, for law school. Graduated last year, took the bar, and now I'm an attorney for the city of Cleveland. I work for public safety, so that's police, fire, EMS, corrections, any of that stuff. So it's just really good for me to come back, give back, be able to see all these people who are here and to be able to participate in this program. So next to me, I have Xavier, who was one of the problem writers, and also coming up is Darian, who was also a problem writer. They're the real geniuses here, so I'm going to give the mic to them now. So Xavier and Darian.
Thank you. They wrote this wonderful problem. I'm going to let them talk to you real quick. No, real quick. Take your time.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Xavier Thomas Hughes. In 2013, I graduated from Whitney Young Leadership Academy. And I then went to the Ohio State University. And now in the fall, I will be going to Georgetown Law School and hopefully be in the class of 2021. I hope we wrote this problem, and I hope you all enjoyed it. We wanted you to think critically about this real-world issue. You all did fantastic today, and the trials that I've seen, excellent. Oh, you all did excellent. And I encourage you, if you have this passion, if you enjoyed doing what you love, I strongly encourage you to pursue it. Darian and I and Brandon, Brandon, we are a product of the Lewis Stokes Scholars Program. It's a summer internship for graduating seniors and also college graduates. You get to intern with the positions in the legal community. I interned at the Common Pleas Court here my first year, and then my second year I interned at the County Prosecutor's Office. And if you really are interested in pursuing this, I strongly encourage you to take advantage of that.
And Jerry, these are the co-authors of the problem that you guys worked so hard on today.
I'll just pretty much be echoing a lot of stuff that Xavier said. Like he said, my name is Darian Hurd. I attended early college at John Hay campus. I graduated in 2011, and then I went on to Georgetown College in Kentucky. I graduated from there in 2015 with my bachelor's in English. I will be attending Cleveland Marshall College of Law in the fall, and hopefully will be in class of 2020 as well. It's been a long road getting there, trust me, but I was sitting in these same seats. I did my trial the 3 years I was in high school. Unfortunately, there was nothing at my college, but I plan on doing either mock trial or moot court when I go to law school. It's been something that has I've held deep in my heart, close to my heart. It has definitely got me where you see me today, I learned a lot in my trial from Judge Moore. I presented in front of Judge Moore a couple of times, I think, in high school. And she's a nice judge. Sometimes you get mean ones, and they make you even more nervous, and it's like you're not, as if you're not nervous enough. But like I said, like I can only echo what he's saying about Lewis Stokes College. That's also a great program that a lot of you can apply to once you finish high school, or that spring semester once you're getting ready to finish high school. It's an amazing program. I also learned a lot from that. And like he said, if you're serious about getting into the legal field, or even if you aren't sure, internships in any area, like I told one of the teams this morning, internships in any area will help you decide whether you want to do it or not. So whether you want to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, architect, find things, whether it's paid or not. I know paid is better, but whether it's paid or not, find something that you can immerse yourself in the field. Because that's how you're going. If you go sit with a judge, if you go sit with Judge Moore, you're like, I don't think I enjoy sending people to jail, or I don't enjoy maybe even housing court. Maybe I don't enjoy doing things like that. So then you know when you're 16, 17, so you don't waste your time going through all this time and going to law school. And you're like, I don't even want to practice law. I don't want to do anything in this field. But I spent 4 to 7 years of my life dedicated to it. I was different. I always knew I wanted to be a lawyer, so doing mock trial and coming pretty much full circle. Somebody told me this morning I've come full circle with it, which I feel like I have. I did mock trial and internships, and now I'm co-author of the hypothetical that I was once studying. So
we're gonna get you to do it next year.
But it was a lot of hard work, but it taught me a lot. Still, I learned a lot about opioid addiction, and that was something that I studied this summer in the Lewis Stokes College program, and which is why Jessica, wherever she may be, kind of wanted someone from that past class to be involved in this process, because I was doing projects and all that kind of stuff with it. So I'm gonna stop talking, but the people that I did see today, I know everybody probably did amazing. Congrats to all of you, no matter who wins.
I want to say big thank you to Jessica Payne, wherever she is, for taking a chance on us.
Right.
And Judge Moore for looking at it.
Yes, fantastic.
Thank you.
I want to give you all the opportunities you can get.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are they inspirational, you guys? All right, and we have somebody from the bar, our president, our foundation president? Board president, and he wants to do something. Okay, he's a representative from the bar, and he puts together all these wonderful programs, or at least they finance it. So come on.
Hi, I'm Rich Zeiger. I am on the Bar Association, the Bar Foundation Board, which is part of the Bar Association. We work together, and we are, as Judge Moore said, we are the sort of the co-sponsors of this activity. And I only have one word for you guys: wow. I mean, every year I show up for this, I am wowed by how well you all perform. I mean, it is pretty amazing. And it is an honor for me to be here with you all today. So on behalf of the Bar Association and the Bar Foundation, congratulations. I'll let you applaud for yourselves again. I think you all succeeded at performing in mock trial. And the important thing for all of us up here is when students in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District succeed, the community succeeds. So this is a success for the entire community, and you should feel very proud of yourselves. I want to toss a shout out to a few people who also make this possible. I want to congratulate and thank your teachers, right? Awesome. Awesome teachers, yes. The judges, your coaches, okay, and the administration and staff both at the court and at the Bar Association. Okay, thank you all. Okay, I hope you had a lot of fun doing this, because we have a lot of fun doing a very important job for the community. And I'll echo the thoughts you heard earlier. If you're interested in any aspect of the law, no matter what you do, it's going to be helpful. If you found something today that you really like, you know, you got to show off your skills. You had to write, you had to read, you had to think, you had to speak, you had to show all those skills, and at the same time compete against each other. If you enjoy that, I'd encourage you to do this again and take advantage of the different programs that are available to you to further your activity in this area. Really, really great job. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mrs. Dyer. Thank you. Okay, now before we get to saying who the winners are, we do have one other special guest who just walked in here, and he's a very nice guy. And I'm going to let him introduce himself. Mr. Quarterman, please come and introduce yourself and talk to these young people.
What's is it my going?
Is it on?
I'm just gonna talk.
Okay, you can talk loud.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today, man? That's good. The judge more than likely threw me here. I only had a day to prepare though, so I'm kind of nervous. This is my first time speaking in front of a big crowd like this. But my name Marcus Quarterman. I'm 27. Came out of Glenville, 09. I'm a traveling barber, personal barber also. Basically, I just came here to talk to y'all about just drugs and just stand on the right path, you know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to get off path, though, you know what I'm saying? Just with the music going on, making it easy, with the drugs and everything. Let me get to the first point. All right, about myself, I grew up in a family where just my parents, my mom and my father was on drugs and whatnot. And, actually, if it wasn't for my two grandmothers taking my brothers in, we might have been lost in the system for real, you know what I'm saying? So I thank God for my grandmothers after my mom and my father got clean. We actually had a chance to move back with my parents, and she's been clean for 18 years. They right here in the back. I'd like y'all to give her a hand. Yeah. Ma, come on up, Ma. She's probably nervous too, y'all, but give her another hand, man. 18 years, man. It's definitely a blessing, though, man, because without her, I wouldn't be nowhere, so you know what I'm saying? So thank you, Ma, for that.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, that's my judge right here, yeah. Okay, I got a couple questions for y'all. Who know the word designer drugs? I know y'all heard it. Y'all listen to Future. Yeah, raise your hand. Anybody? Anybody ever heard that term? Nobody? Raise your hand. Well, okay. What designer drug do you know about? What designer drug have you heard of? You just heard Percocets, Molly. Yeah. You heard of it? Okay. Yeah. He know about it, right. He know about it. But at the same time, man, with these drugs, when you listen to the music, they make it cool for you to even do it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you gotta realize it's a lot of these rappers that don't even do the drugs, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like negativity sells. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you can listen to the music, but at the same time, you don't actually have to do them, though, because that opened up a leeway to doing opiates and fentanyl and all that stuff like that, though. You know what I'm saying? So you can listen to the music, but you don't have to actually try to beat them, though, if that's something that you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and another thing is, the decisions, all y'all in high school, right? Yeah. Okay. In high school, okay. The decisions that y'all make right now today is going to follow y'all to the rest of y'all life after this, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a brother that's incarcerated right now, doing 11 years or something he didn't even do. But at the same time, his decision was to be in the streets, though. So it was a mistaken identity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm living with that today. It took me a couple years, and I asked God, like, why my little brother? We just got split up. And then it was either seeing him, talking to him on the phone, or going to the graveside and seeing him. So now that I woke up after a couple years, I say I'd rather talk to him on the phone and know he getting an out date. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, I just want y'all to repeat one thing with me, man. I will not become a product of my environment. One more time, man. I will not become a product of my environment, man. Thank you, man. Thank y'all. Yeah.
Okay.
Next time you gotta warn me.
I'm sorry. All right. So we're gonna start with the outstanding attorneys. from these future attorneys, and I guess the real attorney is going to sit back and watch. Okay. All right, Maya Haskell. Gina Ridenauer. I know Gina Ridenauer. Woo! Hi there. Give me a hug. I know your parents. Yay. Olivia DePerna. Okay, so people who left, we're going to make sure that you get your certificates. Marquise Duckworth. John Little. I heard you learned your part just yesterday. Zion Haskin. That's excellent. So you filled in at the last minute. That's wonderful. Zion Haskin. Okay. Is he here?
No, he's not.
Okay, Demario Branch. Demario Branch. Irvin Gully. Woo! Destiny Jones. Trevor James. Kenneth Shaw. He's very good. All right, now we have our witnesses. Come up and get your certificate, Kamora Bevins. Chiamaka Chukwu. Casey Miller. Trevor James again. Trevor. Doing double duty. Javante Williams. Oh, he left earlier. Okay. Oh, okay. Devin Fletcher. Will Lambertson. Khalida Rashid. Taylor Otrix. Yay. Terrella Reeves. Noni Akintunde. Liana Williams. She was in yours? Okay. And Kasim Duncan. Is good? All right. Very good. Okay.
So for the writers, these are for the writers.
Okay.
And then you can announce the winner. They're on here.
Oh, okay. Is the last one the winner?
No, the winner is, you're going to announce that last one, the winner.
Oh.
Because she's going to,
Okay.
you're going to do it when you do the internship.
Okay, got it. Okay, certificates for essayists. Essayists. How many of you are essayists? Okay, and these are the honorable mentions for the writing contest. Brianna Franks. Cindy Tron. Destiny Jones. Wasn't she here? And Caleb Caudill. Okay. Now we have, you all know we have jobs to give away. Summer jobs, $10 an hour. And they go to outstanding prosecuting attorney. Oh, thank you. Outstanding defense attorney, outstanding witness, and outstanding writer or essayist. So, and we have a fifth one we got blessed with this morning. All right, so outstanding prosecuting attorney, and winner of one of the internships is Destiny Jones from Facing History. Team number 1, outstanding defense attorney and winner of one of the internships is Kasim Duncan from Colorado. Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, you won a job. All right. Outstanding witness and winner of one of our internships is Noni Akintunde. Congratulations, Noni. All right, we don't have anything to give you, but you got a job. Outstanding writer is Violet Sherhag. And Violet, you also got a summer internship. All right, and a plaque for being best essayist. All right, and now we have one more internship that we want to give away, and they said that that internship should go to Trevor James from Gann Academy. Oh, okay. All right, wonderful, wonderful. Now, schools, who won? Okay, in third place and winner of a trophy is Facing History New Tech Team number 1. They left. Aww. Second place is Science and Medicine Team number 1. And winner of the 2018 Cleveland Metropolitan Mock Trial Competition is Cleveland School of Medicine and Science Team number 2. We want to congratulate all the winners, and we also want to congratulate everybody who participated, because that is a big deal, participating, and we appreciate your effort. Thank you so much, and we'll see you all next year. Picture time, picture time, picture time.